Assalamu alaikum. Today we shall talk about thematic analysis. Thematic analysis is one of the qualitative data analysis methods and a set of tools and techniques. In our last video on data analysis, we learned two things. One was that the analysis refers to all those efforts made by the social researchers and other researchers to convert the unorganized facts and figures into a format or template which can help them to answer the research questions. So, thematic analysis is a tool which helps the social researchers in collecting and then so organizing the scattered facts and figures that they become meaningful and help the researcher to answer the research questions. Let's start with thematic analysis, and the word theme that is at the center of thematic analysis means simply an idea that is given in the form of a statement. Theme is a piece of knowledge, a piece of facts and figures which has some meaning, which is making some sense. For example, in this topic, we shall use a sample project to understand different levels of thematic analysis. The sample topic will be the impacts of self-confidence on the employee performance mediated by organizational culture. It simply means that the topic is going to explore what are the impacts of self-confidence on an individual's performance and how this relationship of self-confidence with employee performance is mediated by organizational culture or how it is affected by the organizational culture. Now come back to the point of theme. That theme is an idea which is available in the form of a statement or in the form of a concept. For example, a statement from the literature that self-confidence affects the performance. This is a statement, an idea which contains some facts and figures which are giving some sense or meaning. For example, self-confidence is the ability of a person, while performance is the employee's performance in some organization. And the statement is saying that self-confidence affects the performance positively. So that statement is a theme. Similarly, as we said, that the statement or the theme can be about the variable itself. For example, another statement from the literature says that overconfidence is counterproductive. Now, that statement includes only one variable, but it is also a theme or an idea which has valuable information. So, thematic analysis works on the basis of themes. Themes are first collected in the form of primary themes, and every theme, as we have said, can consist of a single concept, a single variable, or two or three variables, and the statement can be about the definitions of the variables and the attributes, relationships between the variables, theories about the variables and their relationships, and likewise the themes can be in the form of results from the existing studies about the similar topic which has been selected by the researcher. So the primary themes come from the literature in the form of definitions, relations, theories, and results. However, at the primary level, data is collected as per resource. A researcher may use 30 books, 51 articles, 9 reports, 21 other resources, total 111 resources, and the primary themes will be collected according to the resource. For example, book 1, it is the resource 1, and from this book we will look for all the variables in the topic. For example, here self confidence, employee performance and organizational culture. So from that book we shall collect the definitions of the variable, its attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3, it's the relationships of the variable 1 with 2 and 3. Likewise, any theories about the relationships of these variables and the results of current studies related to these variables. So, this book will contain the information about all the variables and their attributes and their relationships. Similarly, the resource 2, for example, paper 1, resource 2, we shall do the same thing. Now, these 111 resources, commonly known as references, or we call them cards or notes, are actually organized in the form of resources. Because they are available in the form of resources, therefore the primary themes are collected in the sequence of resources: resource 1, resource 2, resource 3. Now, as we are saying that primary themes are organized as per resources, so they are classified or organized as per resources. However, we call it data, or the researcher calls it data, and believes that it is unorganized, in the sense that the researcher actually needs all these facts and figures not organized as per resource, rather as per variables. So the primary themes are then organized, or if we look at this, we can call it reorganized according to the variables. So we place variable 1 and then bring together all the material related to its attribute 1, then all the material related to the attribute 2. Now you can see that every piece of data coming from the stage of primary themes is coming with reference. So when we will classify all these things or reorganize all this material according to our requirements, researchers' requirements, and that is that everything should be organized or classified as per 3 variables. All that data will come under each variable, whichever is relevant. For example, the variable is self-confidence, then all the data coming from any resource about the first attribute of self-confidence will be placed under this heading, and similarly we will proceed organizing or replacing these material themes according to the attributes of each variable, and the same practice will be done with all 3 variables. So once the data is organized as per requirements of the researcher, we call it information. Why? Because now it is making some sense, and a definition, for example, definition of a variable, all the resources which have given some material about the definition is brought together, and it collectively now starts making sense. In thematic analysis, the final stage is to use this information, which is meaningful, to answer the research question, big question given in the heading of the topic. And the big question is that whether self-confidence is affecting performance positively, and is it affected by the organizational culture. On the basis of these facts and figures, we have a lot of material which supports these 2 relationships, the relationship between self-confidence and performance, and then the relationship of organizational culture with the connection of those 2 variables. So there is a lot of material collected from 111 resources about the same thing, that is the definitions of the variables and what are their relationships. On the basis of this, we can develop the global theme, or which is actually called the theory behind the topic. Now, that global theme can be given in the form of text or a graph. Textually, we will say that self-confidence positively changes employee performance mediated by organizational culture and supported by a lot of material collected from all these resources. So, in thematic analysis, the primary themes in the form of data are collected from all these resources in the form of definitions, relations, theories and results. You can see that the resources include not only the books, articles, reports and other resources. I am actually referring to the form or to the physical availability of the material, facts and figures collected. These definitions, relations, theories, results all can be in the form of text, pictures, graphs, audio, video, animations, blogs, and these can be available online or offline. To close my discussion on thematic analysis, I will refer to other tools and techniques available that are used for qualitative data analysis, like framework analysis, thematic network analysis, content analysis, correspondence analysis. So, along with thematic analysis, there are many other methods, but most of them are actually based on thematic analysis. And thematic analysis is the most widely used and very simple and natural method, along with its tools, like tools of primary themes and organizing themes and global themes. These are the tools as well as the techniques. These help the social researcher to prepare the data for finally answering the research questions. As you can see, that by reaching the global theme, we have proved that this statement or this theory is correct as per support of the existing literature. And if we are also conducting the numerical research, then we can test this model, and we shall talk about this in the next video. So that is enough for today, and thank you very much.